Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you a Sweet 16 quinceañera makeup tutorial, and this makeup tutorial has pink tones to it. If you would like to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. I'm going to start off by priming her face with the CoverGirl True Blend Primer, and I'm going to apply it all over her face to make sure that her makeup stays a lot longer. Then I'm going to go in with the matte and poreless Maybelline foundation, and she's in the color 332, and I'm applying it with a Morphe brush, and I'm making sure it's nice and blended and making sure I start on her T-zone because that's where she'll need the most coverage. To highlight her T-zone, I'm using the Morphe concealer, and I'm applying it, like I said, on her T-zone. I'm not sure what the color is, but I'll link it down below. Then I'm going to blend it out with my Pro Beauty blender, which is the Black Beauty blender. And I always just dab it. I never rub it because then you'll take away the concealer you just applied. To set her concealer, I'm using the e.l.f. contour palette, and I'm using the banana shade in this palette with a Luxie brush. Then I'm going to set it with an ultra translucent powder, and I'm going to set the rest of her face with the same Luxie brush. To bronze her face, I'm using the e.l.f. contour palette, and I'm using a Morphe 527 brush. And I actually did like this palette. I just wish it was a little bit more pigmented. Then to contour her face, I'm using the darkest shade in the palette, and I'm using a Luxie contour angled brush. And like you see, I'm using it on the hollows of her cheeks, and I'm not really doing anything on her forehead because her forehead's already kind of small. To highlight her face, I decided to use the e.l.f. highlighting palette. To be honest, I did not like this palette at all. It doesn't have any pigmentation. As you see, it didn't do anything for her face. And I'm using a Anastasia Beverly Hills A23 brush. For blush, I'm using the e.l.f. blush palette, and I'm applying it with a MAC 129 brush. Beware, this palette is super pigmented, so a little goes a long way. Next, for her eyebrows, I'm using the Loreal Broe Stylist Sculpt pencil. First, I started off brushing her eyebrows, then I'm starting by filling in the bottom portion of her eyebrow, then the top portion, and then I'm actually brushing it to fill in the rest and filling in whatever I need to. I didn't really like this eyebrow pencil that much because it is kind of waxy. It does leave the eyebrows a little bit patchy. Next, to clean up her eyebrows, I'm using the Morphe concealer with a Morphe brush, and I'm starting by lining the bottom portion of her eyebrows, and then I'm bringing the concealer down and blending it with my beauty blender. Then I decided to apply the same concealer as a primer, and I'm actually blending it with a damp beauty blender. Next, to set her primer, I'm using the Maybelline Nudes palette, and I'm using a Morphe brush. I'm using that middle cream color shade to set her primer, as I said. Then I'm using the same palette, and I'm using this grayish brown shade as a transition color with the same Morphe blending brush. Next, I decided to use the Maybelline Blush Nudes palette, and I decided to use that pinkish grayish color as a transition color as well with the same Morphe blending brush. For her outer V, I'm using that plum color shade with a Morphe blending brush, and I'm just applying it on her outer V. For her lid, I'm applying this rose gold shade, and I'm just packing it on her lid, and I'm not going to her outer V. I'm just staying like 3/4 of the way in. Next, to highlight her brow bone, I'm using a Morphe brush and that pink light shade. To define her lower lash line, I'm using the darkest shade in the palette, and I'm using a Sigma flat definer brush. And I'm also going to be using the same color to define her upper lash line. This will make it easier to hide the band line for the falsies. That's why I'm doing this. To blend that dark color I just applied, I'm using this pink grayish color on her lower lash line, and I'm making sure the darkest color is nice and blended. To highlight her tear duct area, I'm using the same shade I used to highlight her brow bone with a Morphe brush. For mascara, I'm using my all-time favorite mascara, and that's the L'Oreal Voluminous mascara, and this is the original one. I'm applying 2 coats to her upper lashes. Then I'm going to be applying the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black Mascara to her lower lashes. I'm also applying 2 coats. And this is one of my favorite mascaras as well. For her lips, I went with the Milani Matte Lip Amore in the color Precious. I felt like this color is perfect for her age. If you want to top it off with a gloss, it would look really nice as well. But she didn't really want glossy lips. That's why we just went with a matte lip color. For falsies, I decided to go with a very natural pair of looking falsies that I found on eBay, which sells for 10 pairs, I believe, for $1, which I think it's a really good deal. And I used my dual adhesive as well. And lastly, because she wanted a little bit more highlight and we didn't really like how the e.l.f. palette had a glow on her, we decided to go with the Physicians Formula Warm Nude Shimmer Brick, and actually I felt like it looked really nice. And that was everything for today. If you liked my video, don't forget to give me thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll leave all the details of everything I used down in the description box below. Don't forget to leave your comments of what you would like to see next on my channel, and if you enjoy this type of tutorials, and see you guys next time. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you my 10K giveaway. If you'd like to see what you can win today for my 10K giveaway, just keep on watching. And first of all, I would like to thank you guys for all those beautiful comments that you guys always leave, for all those thumbs up, for all those likes, and all those comments that you always leave on my social medias as well. And now let's see what you guys can win for my 10K giveaway.